I'm Dave Withers, Managing Director of Iseki here in the UK. And we're continuing our series of virtual demonstrations that we've been doing during this COVID era. Once again, we're in a paddock very near my home with a member of my immediate family driving the camera. So what machine are we going to look at today? Well, this is the smallest of our famous SXG cut and collect range of machines, the SXG216 Plus. This has got a 14 horsepower diesel engine, we'll talk more about that in a minute, a 40-inch width of cut direct drive deck, and then a 320 litre collector that goes on the back. So we're going to spend some time looking through the machine, and we're going to start with the engine. At the heart of a machine like this is its engine. So to get at that, I've just got to pull the little lever there and I can open up the hood, it gets out of the way, gives me great access to the engine here. What do I need to get at? Well, there's a bug screen here that I can lift out, that keeps the radiator nice and clean. You can see the little yellow dipstick there, the oil filters there, air filter just here. Really easy to get at everything. So this is a 14 horsepower twin cylinder Iseki diesel engine. One of the key things about this, it's got a huge displacement. It's 688 cc's, this engine. And because it's got so much displacement, we can turn it really quite slowly at 2,800 revs per minute and still get that 14 horsepower out of it. There are machines out there that have tiny little 400 and something cc engines. They have to thrash them around at 3,000 or 4,000 revs per minute to get the power out of them. That's never been the Iseki way. We like a nice big engine. We can turn relatively slowly, get all that torque and power that we need to drive the machine. So let's have a look at the controls that we have here. First of all, the seat, I can adjust forwards and back depending on how tall you are and how long your legs are. Obviously, when I'm driving, I'm going to pop my seat belt on, but I'm not doing that yet. You can see here I've got the parking brake. If I go over centre like that, that locks it into the parking mode. And then this is my forwards and this is my reverse pedal, so a twin pedal hydrostatic drive. Also on this side, I've got this lever here. This is what enables me to lift the deck. So I lift the deck up like that when I want to, press the little button in there, release it down when I want to actually mow with it. Also on this side, I've got the key switch, the throttle, which obviously we're going to run that at full bore when we're cutting, 2,800 revs per minute for the engine. And finally, I've got that little green button there, which enables me to mow whilst going backwards. Final thing on this side of the machine is the electric switch to tip the collector. This is such a key feature of the machine. One of the things that really irritates people is if you've got a big lever and you've got to try and operate that and to tip the grass out when you've finished cutting. And we'll show you that working in a minute. So the electric switch is just there. And that's kind of it for this side. Now we'll move over to the other side. So this side of the machine, pretty straightforward. I've got the light switch here. You may have noticed it's got headlamps on the front there, so I can turn them on just from the switch here. This is the PTO. It's yellow button there. I throw that forwards. That will engage the deck. So if the engine was running and I threw that forward, the deck would now be spinning. I've also got the a deck height adjustment here. So I lift the deck up using that little lever this side. Now I can just set the deck height in 10mm increments as to what height I'm actually going to cut the grass. You can see the fuel tank here and there's a fuel gauge there, so you can see how much diesel you've got left. And then finally we have this little lever here that moves a plate in the collector, and when you're tipping you pull that up just to finally clear out that the area between the deck and the collector. That's kind of it, all we have down this side of the machine. So we're going to have a look now at the deck here, because that's a key area for us. So this deck you can cut down to about 30mm or up as high as about 120mm just by adjusting it on that little wheel up there that we talked about a moment ago. One of the key things with this deck though is we have a shaft that comes down from the engine to drive the deck, which is similar to many machines. But what we then have is, instead of having one of those long complicated belts that would drive all the spindles and so on, we simply have another shaft that goes from one gearbox to the other. So both of the actual blades are driven directly by a gearbox, and there are no belts on this deck whatsoever. That's a crucial point. You might also see we've just got a little hose lock there, connector. And again, when you finish mowing, just pop your hose on there through the hose lock connector, run the deck while the water's running, and it kind of steam cleans the underside of the deck, keeps everything nice and clean and shiny. So there are times when you're going to want to take this collector off. So it actually comes off really easily. There's two handles here. Just lean it back. I can pull that out, just pop it down over there. That's out the way, and now we can kind of see the back of the machine and how all that interface between the deck and the collector, the grass going through that, how that all works. We're just going to take a look at the back of the machine here. So the first thing you can really notice there is you've got that huge discharge chute there. And if you look right the way in, you can actually see one of the blades. And that just shows as the grass gets cut and we generate a tremendous amount of wind due to the shape of the blade, the grass has got a very short distance to travel before it gets thrown right in to this back of this 320 litre collector. That's what makes us cut and collect so well. Now I'm actually going to pop the collector back on again now, but in fact you can get a disperser that fits on here. So let's say there's some of the time you want to cut and collect, but some of the time you just want to cut and let the grass kind of drop and spread it out as you go past. You can take that off as I have, and you hang this other disperser on the back, and that allows for that rear discharge, if you like, type grass cutting. But we're going to pop this back on here, and hopefully there we are, that's all now back on again. So enough about talking about the machine, let's take it out and cut some grass. So we're just going to pop my seatbelt on here. We're in an area of the paddock, you can see we cut, you know, every couple of weeks, something like that. And I've got the height of cut set at around 40 mil. So I've got to put my foot on the brake. It starts up, engage that, drop the blades. Okay, let's see how we do. Just going along here. It will hoover everything else up as well as we go along. See, there's some dead leaves and other debris here. Should be cleaning all that up as we mow along here. So I'm just going to turn around and we'll do another pass. Let's press the little button there for me to mow in reverse. And then back I come again at the same area. You can just see how neat and tidy it leaves it and how easy it is really. Cut in and out of these trees here. Just got to watch the rocks, make sure I don't whack the rocks into something as well. You can see that the collector just doesn't give me a problem because it's so tight to the machine. Come back. Again, you can just see the compactness of the machine really allows you to get right in there and get everything cut. So we've just been doing that cutting there, which we speeded up for you. The buzzer has gone off. So I don't know if you can hear this, but that's the audible warning that you get. That tells you that the collector is actually now full. So once you hear that, turn off the PTO and then come wherever you want to come and dump your grass. No, so for us, this is a really easy operation. On a lot of these machines, there's big levers here. You've got to reach back, try and pull them open. If you've got weak upper body strength, you can't actually do it. So what we've got is a very simple thing that I've just got to press this little button here. So I'm just going to press that, and the collector then is going to tip up like that. The grass all just comes out like that. I'm just going to pull forwards a bit, otherwise it's going to be in the way as I close the collector. So we'll just pull forwards a bit, and then I can drop that down. Can still keep going down, just turn the ignition back on again. That's it, I'm ready to go off mowing again. Very simple, very easy, anybody can operate this. So you've noticed all the way through we've had this rollover protection system in place here. That's to keep me safe when I'm mowing and in the event of going along a slope. But as you can see here, this machine is not going to fit into the garage with this up there. So I've already taken out the pin the other side. Take out this pin here and this, fold that back down like that, and now it should fit into the garage. So really another great machine from the Iseki SXG cut and collect range. From its compact size, really large engine that we can turn slowly and still generate a load of torque, electric dump on the collector and no belts on the deck, really does offer a tremendous amount of features and benefits, and I was surprised how well it got the job done here. So please take a look at it. It's also amazing value. We'll put the price on the bottom of the video here. So don't forget, even during these difficult times, our dealers are there for you. Whether you've got an Iseki product or you're thinking about getting one, our dealers can offer you parts, service, sales support, or any technical backup that you might need in a safe and responsible way. They'll be there all the way through this crisis, whatever happens. So we've certainly enjoyed making this video again. It's always been great fun doing them. I hope you've enjoyed it and hope you stay safe.